Good morning, everyone. This meeting of the Blair County Board of Commissioners will come to order. We'll begin with a moment of silent reflection, after which we'll stand for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Nicole, do we have anybody joining us remotely this morning?
We do have remote participants. I'll remind everyone that it is *6 to unmute your phone. And if you could state your name for the record, that would be wonderful.
Leslie Miller.
Thank you, Leslie. Is there anyone else joining us remotely this morning? Go ahead and state your name if you, I see you did just get unmuted. They must be having some technical difficulties. There is another participant. We'll have to see who that is after the meeting.
Okay. Thank you very much. We're going to open the meeting at this time to any public comment. All right, hearing none. We do have our first agenda order of business here today is a special presentation. There are going to be a lot of changes in county government in the next several weeks, but I don't think any of them will be profound in terms of its effect on the operations of county government as is the retirement of our beloved office coordinator, administrative office coordinator in our office, Melissa Harpster, who many of you know from coming to these meetings regularly. And we have a letter of commendation we want to share publicly at this time. Melissa, I'm not going to look at you doing this because I know that would just make it worse for both of us. So, dear Melissa, the Board of Commissioners and office staff recognize and appreciate your dedication to Blair County over the past 10 years. When you came on board in the Administrative Office Coordinator in April of 2013, it was apparent that you not only brought excellent customer service skills, but also an attention to detail that could not be matched. You were always willing to learn new tasks, like writing resolutions, proclamations, and taking on extra duties whenever there was a vacancy in the office. During your tenure, you also took on additional responsibilities that included taking minutes for the Safety Committee and the Park and Recreation Advisory Board meetings. You played an important role in ensuring agendas were always submitted in a timely manner for our Board of Commissioners meetings, but not before you completed a thorough check that all the requirements were met. The quality of your work was always a reflection not only of yourself, but also on the Commissioner's office as a whole, and you took that role very seriously. For the last 10 years, you have been the friendly face of the Commissioner's office and the first impression for the Social Services Office, having been the receptionist for both. Your caring and compassionate nature has been felt not only in our office, but throughout the entire courthouse, which is evidenced by your willingness to help others. The institutional knowledge you brought to both these groups has been extremely valuable, as you also assisted with submitting grant applications and establishing a new reservation system for the pavilion rentals at Valley View Park. We will miss your eagle eye. We'll miss that a whole lot. And relying on you as a safety net for the Commissioner's office. On behalf of the County of Blair, please accept our sincere gratitude for sharing your time and talents in the Commissioner's office and for your service to the citizens of the County of Blair. Melissa, thank you so much. Melissa, now, I know you're going to love this part. We're going to ask you to come forward so the commissioners can present this to you, and we can get a picture. We'll get Allison and Nicole in, and I think we're like even color balance. Red eyes.
Okay, one.
I'm sorry.
All right, I tried, I got it.
Now, Melissa, do you have anything you want to say before she?
I just don't know where to begin. I went with a great group. I could not have done it without their guidance over the past 10 years, and to the former Board of Commissioners as well. This group truly was the heart of Blair County, and I'm sorry, I just thank you all. I love you all. I love you.
Love you too. Melissa is the only person left in the Commissioner's office. That person was here when I came 8 years ago, and I made, knowing she was planning for retirement, I made her promise, as she will attest, that she would stay as long as I did, and I think you're staying like 3 days after me, so you kept your promise, Melissa. Much
I might be a
appreciated.
little bit longer. God love me in another direction.
And Commissioner, you can see that that's plural on the agenda on purpose. So I'd ask Judy Ward, Senator Judy Ward, to join us at the podium.
She and Amanda Walker stroll in a little
That might have
while
been
ago.
plural, under disguise.
Welcome, Senator Ward.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know I wouldn't let this occasion go by without recognizing you with the Senate citation. And as Commissioner Erb knows, this is very difficult for me because Commissioner Erb and I have been friends for many, many years, and we have worked so closely in our current roles together. And it's been such a blessing to me to have someone that I could call to discuss any legislation that would be going through the legislature and how it would affect the county. That's just so important to have that kind of friendship and that kind of admiration for one another. And you can call that person and just discuss in pros and cons and a lot of current issues that we've been able to work on together. It is very bittersweet for me personally to say goodbye to Commissioner Erb and know that he is moving on, leaving the area, but not too far. So it's I'm very happy for him, happy for he and his family, and he's going to enjoy that. I know he will. But I did want to not let this occasion go by without presenting you a citation from the Pennsylvania Senate on your years of community support and your years of service to the county and the area. So I'd like to read it. It says, whereas the Senate of Pennsylvania is always pleased to recognize those individuals who through their laudable tenure of service contribute in a meaningful way toward the well-being of their communities and of this Commonwealth. And whereas Bruce R. Erb, is being honored upon his retirement from the Blair County Board of Commissioners after a career spanning more than 47 years of dedicated service. And whereas a 1976 graduate of Juniata College, Mr. Erb earned designations as a certified financial planner, certified trust and financial advisor, and certified public retirement plan professional. He began his career with the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation in 1976 and worked for several banks prior to joining First National Bank in 2008 as Senior Vice President of Wealth Management, the position he held upon his retirement in 2016. Elected to the Blair County Board of Commissioners in 2015 and re-elected in 2019, Mr. Erb served as the chair of the board as well as chair of the county's retirement, salary, and election boards. He was appointed to the Election Law Advisory Board in 2020 and is active with the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania as vice chair of the Education Committee and a member of the Human Services Committee. Throughout his career, Mr. Erb has strived to adhere to the highest standards of service and has rightly earned the respect and admiration of his many friends and colleagues. Now, therefore, the Senate of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania recognizes Bruce R. Erb for his years of loyalty and service, proudly notes that he has demonstrated extraordinary commitment to this Commonwealth, and offers best wishes for continued success in the years to come. And this is signed by the first female pro tempore of the Senate, Senator Kim Ward, and myself. So I would like to thank you for all that you've done. You have been a steady hand on the wheel of this county financially. And everybody has, that's what makes a board so special. Everybody has gifts and talents that they bring to a board like this. And Commissioner Erb, you have brought that financial background and that steady hand. And I know moving forward, you'll only be a phone call away. And I'm grateful for that and so grateful for your service. I wish you nothing but happiness and love with your family and enjoyment moving forward. It's a new chapter, and I'm excited for you to see what that brings. So I'm going to present this to you.
Yeah, I want to be like you. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. You have been a wonderful legislative partner for her. We know that you look out for the counties, you look out for all your counties you represent, but Blair County in particular. Your home is where your heart is, and working with you, and you've done just so many things to help our board, and we are all so greatly appreciated. I am personally for that, and just for the long-time friendship and the trust that we have. So.
Great. My way to Harrisburg is through State College, so we will be. I will be stopping for breakfast.
Well, that's all. Have a bed.
Perfect. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. Thank you.
Merry Christmas, everyone. And thank you for listening.
One surprise person at this meeting this morning. Now we'll go to the more mundane parts of the, but absolutely important, necessary parts, and that would be unfinished business. So
Thank
Nicole,
you.
could you start us through that, please?
I'd be happy to. Today's first resolution for adoption is resolution number 584. It's approving a Commonwealth of Pennsylvania Emergency Management 911 State Interconnectivity funding grant agreement in the total award of $598,688.70 for the projects listed on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 584?
Mr. Webster, I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Resolution 585 is approving a professional services contract between the County of Blair and Mission Critical Partner as outlined on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 585?
Mr. Webster, I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Resolution 586 is approving a service agreement between the County of Blair, Blair County 911 Center, and Ravine Industries for embroidered logo uniform shirts in a total amount not to exceed $2,800 for a period of 1 year.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 586?
Mr. Webster, I'll make the motion.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I will just say, I know the last time this came up, I think it may have been the EMA side. We asked if they had gotten bids and they had not, and I did not ask that yesterday. And I understand at that amount, they do not have to do that, but I think in the future, I do want to emphasize that we do prefer that all departments seek bids even when they are below the bidding threshold.
That's a very good request, and I mean, that should be the best practices which we should be adhering to, so that pass that along to EMA. Any other discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Resolution number 587 is approving a master service agreement between the County of Blair and Informion for the Informion project products and location services and purposes set forth in Exhibit A as outlined on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 587?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Mr. Webster, second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Resolution 588 is approving a professional service agreement by and between the County of Blair on behalf of the Board of Elections and NPC for professional services relating to managing data, printing, mailing, and other related digital solutions as outlined on your agenda.
Make a motion for the adoption of Resolution 588. Is there a second?
Mr. Webster, second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Resolution 589 is approving an independent contractor agreement between the County of Blair and Weiss Burkhart Kramer for legal counseling services in assisting with the Blair County 2023 interim appeals and 2024 assessment appeals with respect to value as outlined on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 589?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Mr. Webster, second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Resolution 590 is approving the Blair County Assessment Office Printing and Mailing Services Agreement by and between the County of Blair and Spring Hill Laser Services for providing professional services for the processing, printing, and mailing of the 2024 county and municipal tax bills as outlined on your agenda.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 590?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Resolution 591 is approving the payment of an invoice dated December 7th, 2023 for catering services rendered to the Social Services Advisory Board by Davis Finest Catering in the total amount of $240.
I'll make a motion for the adoption of Resolution 591. Is there a second?
Mr. Webster, second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Resolution number 592 is approving an amendment to the services agreement between the County of Blair and PMA Management Corp. For administration of runoff workers' compensation claims for the period of January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2024.
Make a motion for the adoption of Resolution 592. Is there a second?
Mr. Webster, second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. It is approved. Before we start, or you want to read through, and then we're going to actually call on Mr. Walters, who I think has something to add on that.
Oh, sure. Resolution number 593 is approving a 1-year renewal administrative services agreement with Luminaire Health, that is formerly known as Trustmark, for benefits claim administration effective January 1st, 2024, in the total amount of $249,855.83. The cost does reflect a 0.53% increase from 2023, and that is solely due to a non-negotiable increase in the Cigna network access fee. All the other costs remain the same from 2023 rates.
So before I make a motion, I'm going to ask Brian just to share our clarification on that.
Yes, yesterday I received a revised administrative services renewal from Luminaire. I had been expecting a separate agreement to be prepared to cover the costs of activation of an electronic data interface between Luminaire and People One Health. Since our association with People One Health began, it has required manual reporting of all enrollments and terminations. And there were some issues in the billing process where I was not receiving actual invoices, led to some overpayments that we're working to resolve. We have agreement and are actually getting monthly credits from People One for those overpayments. But going forward with the activation of this electronic data interface, it's a real-time reporting of enrollments and terminations to prevent any billing issues going forward. The cost of that is 35 cents per employee per month for only those employees who are enrolled in People One Health. This revised renewal includes that 35-cent line item cost, and it increases our one-year renewal fee from $248,855.83 to $251,330.03, a 1.12% increase, and an annualized total dollar increase of $2,474.20. In anticipation of activation of this electronic data interface, that additional amount was actually already budgeted for in 2024. So Solicitor Korn suggested I present this change today and see if you would consider voting on it with this change.
Commissioners, questions, or does anyone have a problem with voting on that today? Then I'm going to go ahead and make a motion for the approval of Resolution 593 with the change from the amount to the $251,330.03, if I said that right. Is there a second?
Commissioner Webster, second.
Thank you. Any other discussion or questions? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye, it's approved. Thank you. Nicole, back to you.
Thank you. Resolution 594 is approving 2 quotes received from Esri for GIS software maintenance in the total amount of $1,668.39 as broken down on your agenda for the period of December 31st, 2023 through January 31st, 2024, knowing that a full year renewal will come at the beginning of the year here.
Thank you. Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 594?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution 595 is approving a contract renewal between the County of Blair and Permidium LLC. This is for the purpose of online license to carry application process and payment for the Blair County residents. This period is from May 1st, 2022 through April 30th, 2023, and at no cost to the county.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 595?
Commissioner Webster, I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any question or discussion at this time? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution 596 is approving the same contract but for the different time period of May 1st, 2023 through April 30th, 2024.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 596?
Commissioner Webster, I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? In favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Resolution 597 is approving construction drawings for submission to Hollidaysburg Borough. These were prepared by Keller Engineers for a new rain garden for the County of Blair located near the entrance of the employee parking garage on Mulberry Street, located within the Borough of Hollidaysburg.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 597?
Commissioner Webster, I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And Resolution 598 is approving an allocation of Park and Recreation Reserve Account Funds 035 in an amount not to exceed $500. This is for the purchase of motion-activated floodlighting.
Is there a motion for the adoption of Resolution 598?
Commissioner Webster will make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second?
Is there any discussion? Those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Is approved, and we reached the end of unfinished business. We have no old or new business at this time. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of the board to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas, a safe and wonderful holiday, and remind them that the Board of Commissioners will be meeting next week when we will surpass the 600 resolution mark for the year. We've been busy. So we'll adjourn at this time and thank everyone for their participation in today's meeting.